Okay, back again, part 2 of my little quick review. We're on Mighty Avengers issue 28. Okay, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. I'd like to say on the whole title, I think this is probably the least popular of all the Avengers titles at the moment, which I think is a real shame. I'm not saying it's better than the other ones, but this feels like the Avengers to me more than the other issues, the other titles. Dark Avengers is basically the Thunderbolts, which is brilliant concept, a lot of fun. And the New Avengers is it's a good team book. I think Bendis is doing a good job, maybe too much sort of talking heads. It doesn't feel like the Avengers. This does, and this feels like, a fun superhero team book. And it does a good job, it's a real soap opera feel, but not too much talking, just sort of a lot of action, a lot of fun going on. There's two sort of main storylines going on at the moment. This new big bad villain, this former Inhuman King, the Unspoken, and sort of Quicksilver and US agent investigating him. This kind of cool Chinese superhero team are involved. It's always a lot of fun. I find these sort of international superhero teams in the Marvel universe. That's all handled quite well. I think it might be leading into a crossover, maybe, with him involved. But also, my favourite part of it has the Young Avengers, and it's great to see them in this book. Already Stature and Vision are already in it. But, they had their own series for a bit, the Young Avengers, and it's sort of now they're only doing sort of the odd mini-series here and there, which is a real shame, because they're a great team and a lot of fun. I really recommend going back and getting those first few issues of Young Avengers. Good stuff. Anyway, going off the point, they're sort of facing Scarlet Witch, sort of trying to get answers out of her, even though she's secretly Loki. That's handled really well, a lot of fun, and spoiler alert, someone's come to back them up, get them out. It's Clint Barton, aka Ronan, former Hawkeye, so that should be a lot of fun. I really recommend this. I think this is kind of under the radar a little bit. A lot of people were dismissing this as sort of the weaker Avengers title. This is a lot of fun. As I said, it's quite simply a fun superhero team book. And Dan Slott's doing a good job. And who's the artist? Well, I forget his name, but he's, nothing spectacular, but does a good job on the art as well. But yeah, so I recommend this. If you're overlooking this, I just recommend giving it a go. I think it'll be worth it. I think there's going to be a crossover with this and the other Avengers books, so maybe, if you're reading the other Avengers titles, you'll end up picking this up anyway to get the full story. But I recommend this, I really do, it's a lot of fun. Okay, how much time now? X-Men Forever, issue 5, it's kind of the final issue of the current arc, I think. Well, just polishing off the storyline. I've gone through this before, Chris Claremont carrying on from If You'd Never Left, blah 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 blah. All of that aside, this is a lot of fun. It's good. A lot going on. They're going up, the X-Men going after two storms. There's one young one, one evil one. There's these villains called the Consortium, I think they're called. That's good. There's a lot of action. As I say, this feels like classic X-Men. Stuff feels a little bit like the old X-Men cartoon. It's just fun. Actually, it's in a kind of different way from what I was saying to the Avengers. That kind of felt like it just has a real sort of Avengers feel to it, but this just feels like sort of classic 90s X-Men, maybe not classic X-Men, classic 90s X-Men. This is a lot of fun, the characters are great, the artwork's great, a lot of revelations going on in this. I kind of spoiler alert, this whole thing about sort of all mutants are actually going to kind of die young, so The X-Men don't really need to worry about mutants sort of integrating. It's just that there's a place in the world for the X-Men because they sort of save the world, and kind of a weird revelation. They kind of make a big deal out of it. And when I think about it more, you know, the fact that the more mutants use their powers, you know, the closer they become to death. And it kind of adds a cool twist to it, but, you know, this doesn't really affect the mutants until they're quite a lot older, so I don't know, it kind of they made it out to be a bigger revelation than it actually was. It was like, maybe that'll be touched upon more. And there's a little, funeral for Wolverine, which I thought, you know, in the few short panels it was quite touching. It was quite a nice bit where Kurt Wagner, Nightcrawler, sort of put some beers down because they've not shared nice beer together. Although that does make me think, is Wolverine not going to be in this title anymore? I know if there's going to be a flashback issue with Wolverine and Nick Fury, which would be quite good, but is he actually dead for good? Maybe, maybe not. I hope not, because, you know, I love Wolverine, and I'd like to see him in this alternate universe. It kind of looks like they're replacing him with Sabretooth, which they kind of tried to do that in X-Men continuity a few years back, and it didn't really work, and sort of they had to revert Sabretooth back to a villain again. So I'm not too sure about that, but it's fun. I recommend this. It's worth picking up if you're an X-Men fan. You know, it's nice to sort of have an X-Men title that you don't have to worry about the current continuity. It's kind of self-contained, but it's kind of got the best of both worlds because it still can touch upon old X-Men continuity, so it can take from that sort of you know, toy box of you know, history and that, but you don't have to worry about its place in the larger Marvel universe. It's kind of the best of both worlds there. So I recommend this title. It's a lot of fun, and because it's like bi-monthly, some might complain, you know, oh, so I'm going to have to sort of spend more money, but it's nice to sort of not have to wait so long for the next issue. So I really recommend this title. It's a lot of fun, good art, and it's written well. I think it's, you know, Chris Claremont, you know, a lot of history with the X-Men, you know, but I kind of thought some of his recent X-Men work was lacking a bit. He did an X-Men relaunch a few years back, and he introduced characters like the Neo and stuff like that, and it didn't really work. And you know, sorry to say this, Chris, you know, it was all a bit wordy and it didn't really flow well, but this does. It's a lot of fun. I recommend this strongly. Okay. Last but not least, am I going to have time to do this Amazing Spider-Man properly? Just in case, I'm going to stop